a port that's coming onto the market at the moment now is your 2020 ports, very highly rated, 93 points from Mark Squire. So you can tell us a little bit about the 2020 ports that are just being released.
Okay, so let me show you. This is the box in which we have the ports. 2020 was a year with it's another year, another different year from what's usually the harvest in the Douro. What happened is that we had high temperatures throughout the whole harvest, and at some point during the mid of the harvest, around the 20th of September, one key grape variety starts dehydrating a little bit, so getting it more into resins. So we start rushing to bring all those grapes into the winery. It's we've made very small quantity of vintage port from 2020, but it's a port that has a lot of fruity and spice notes, but also a lot of tannins. It's really powerful. It's intense. I believe it's going to be a port to mature for several years. And I mean, it's approachable. I mean, you can definitely drink it now and taste it now, but it's gonna mature very well. You just have to be patient sometimes. But it's interesting that a few months ago I was reading a book written by John Gibbons. He spent half a year in the Douro. He's an English gentleman that spent half a year in the Douro. Talking about 120 years ago, something like this. And he was saying that already at the time, people were drinking vintage port too young, when it was still too fresh and too fruity. And nowadays, we still almost dare to open a young bottle of vintage port. But the thing is, those flavors of young vintage port, like you have in this 2020, they are hard to find anywhere else in the wine business. I mean, from any other region. It's a concentration of the fresh fruit notes with a bit of the spices, those very intense, rich, lushy tannins. It's the amount of sugar that port has with a 20% or 19% of alcohol playing. It's such a great experience that it changes as time goes and the port ages. Of course, then in the ages you get it more elegant, more mature, more with more finesse. But you lose that character of the young, intense, rich, almost overwhelming flavors that young vintage port always presents. So I think, I mean, if you have the chance, open a bottle now and keep a few other bottles to age for the future.
As well, if you bought a port bond, you've invested in a crate of 6 there, like you have there. So maybe open one now to experience those young, fresh flavors, and lay the rest down, because as Oscar says, it will just get better and better with age. It's such a unique, interesting product is vintage port, and Quevedo makes some absolutely fantastic versions of it.